got a camera shot?
Okay. Live in downtown Detroit, Local 4 live stream with Jason Carr starts now.
Good Friday morning to you. It is an action-packed Friday morning here in the Local 4 newsroom, not just because of the 9:15-ish, the infotainment spectacular that this digital hit is. You'll be able to tell from the ambient noise and the phone calls and the people talking in the background that we are mere moments away from a breaking news announcement. We're going to bring in Ian right now, Ian Rhodes, Operations Manager at WDIV. Thank you, John, for widening that out. What do we know about something happening at 9:30?
All right, so right now we know that at federal court there will be an indictment unsealed, and that it involves a major corporation, local major corporation. So that's what we know, and we are ready to tell everybody as soon as we find out the information. Rod Maloney is in court right now, ready to relay that to us as soon as we know what happens at 9:30.
Okay, so that's coming up in about, thank you, Ian.
Yep.
That's coming up in about 17 minutes from now. And what we're going to do is go through with our normal program here, our normal docket of news and silliness and that sort of thing. But at 9:30, I invite you to reload, stay tuned. We're going to launch another live webcast, live stream, Facebook Live, whatever you want to call it. We're going to relaunch again at 9:30 and go with the breaking news to find out what this federal indictment is. So, first on the docket.
We're talking
Willy
about Willy
Wonka.
Wonka. Yeah, he's
Willy Wonka
still
burger.
in the news.
You have the picture of this, the photo of the Willy Wonka burger.
Dude, this is it. This is from a restaurant in Sydney, Australia.
So this is only available in Sydney in honor of the late, great Gene Wilder.
Which is interesting because we were talking about that coffee last week that could possibly kill you. That's only available in one coffee shop in Australia as well.
What is it?
What is it
I mean,
about
they're
Australia?
Very creative down under, but yeah, you can tell by the multi-colored bun that looks like Superman ice cream that this was a labor of love saluting Gene Wilder, who so memorably played Willy Wonka in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Any person of a certain age, myself included, Generation X, remember the annual ritual of watching this movie when it would air. And I always grew up wondering, why did all the roofs in the movie, why were they all red and like clay? And I never really connected that it was an English movie.
It was an English movie, but it was filmed, I believe, in Germany.
So
some of those outdoor scenes.
Yeah. Okay. So Germany, you say?
I think so.
Maybe. I think I just learned something about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. There's a memorable photo. Boy, Gene Wilder was great. So, if you live in Australia, you can get the Wonka burger, and God bless you. But if not, and in honor of Gene Wilder, we have it queued up.
Let me let the bosses.
You get nothing.
You don't live there.
You lose. Good day, sir. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Rest in peace, Gene Wilder. You were one of a kind, quiet man, a creative man, and beloved by kids of all ages the world over. In an unrelated food story, Jimmy John's. What's going on with Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's has been around since 1983.
Freaky fast, freaky good.
Freaky good.
But it took. This was not a fast climb to major chain status to be bought out, right? Yesterday they were.
What was it? Majority stake was just bought, and the company was reportedly valued at $2 billion.
Okay, so Jimmy John, there actually is a guy, Jimmy John, and he started this, as John said, in 1983. Took out a $25,000 loan in order to open his first sandwich shop.
It's not a bad profit margin.
From 25 grand on loan to $2 billion in value. There you have it.
He seems happy.
Jimmy John himself. All right, so I suppose kudos to him for building an empire from one lone location, sort of like Mike Ilitch opening Little Caesars in Garden City back in 1959, I think it was, something like that. Again, if you're just now joining us here on the Facebook Live, on the live stream on clickondetroit.com, we are about 13 minutes now away from major breaking news. We don't know any particulars, but we do know that we're going to be all over it. We have a reporter on the scene. We're going to be doing it live on television and in the news.
We may have you also toss to Rod Maloney out there at some point too.
Okay, Ian says we might be also tossing to Rod Maloney into the field to figure out what this is coming up at 9:30. Next, John, please. Oh. Here's one for the hipsters. Straight from the hipster file. Apparently, I'm a vinyl enthusiast. I was a former DJ. I'm into the whole album, record, music history thing, all its varying formats. I had 78 records as a kid from my grandparents. I'm not old enough to have 78s when they were first out. But you're looking at, you know what a 78 is?
Kind of, I guess. I've never really played any 78s.
Boy. John. Anyway, you put Elmer's wood glue on your vinyl, like so, and then, in order to clean it, you just peel it off like beeswax or something?
And it takes, I think, all the dust out. I'm not sure if it repairs any of
Takes
the
all the gunk out of the
scratches.
grooves. It seems to me that a stylist would do that just by playing it. Well, I don't... I'm missing the benefit here.
Now, question. What is your absolute favorite best album?
Best album?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean... Oh, yeah, it would have to be some... So I told you that we would be having cacophony in the background, the sort of to and fro that goes on in a newsroom when there's breaking news at hand. Favorite album? Gosh. Maybe by genre, I'd have to go with like Kind of Blue by Miles Davis in the jazz genre. In classic rock, I have to go with Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall, something like that.
See, now my go-to would be Van Morrison, Moondance.
Okay.
That's like my go-to when I go to the
Moondance
record player.
is a great
I throw that album.
That's a great song. There's no doubt about it. So, hipster news is now over. Let us move on. What do you got there?
We got cell phones. We're talking about cell phones. 92% of American adults have a cell phone, and almost a third say they never turn their phones off ever.
Really?
Ever. I'm one of those people. I never intentionally turn my phone off. If it runs out of battery, then it happens, but I never go through the process of turning it off intentionally. There's a few problems that are coming with this. There's people that are suffering from low battery anxiety, phantom vibration syndrome.
Not to mention the cell phone, or the smartphone tones going off all the time. The iPhone,
Absolutely.
I mean, if you multiply that by everybody in your life, everybody's walking around all the time with their phones going off. And it just becomes, noise. I mean, we're a noisy society now.
Yeah, everyone's talking, they're playing their music.
I think the phone was going off while I was saying that. It's amazing how that happens. Here on the 9:15-ish. Next, please, sir.
So, this I was just reading about. Coming up soon, the Federal Aviation Administration already approved the venture. Virginia Tech already approved it as well. And Google's parent company, Alphabet, is partnering with Chipotle to deliver burritos with drones on campus. So we've made it. We're there.
Drones delivering burritos.
That's right.
Okay.
So, when you're hungry,
just bring the drone. The Lions in action on Sunday, 4 p.m. At Indianapolis, so they'll be kicking off their action. I have Golden Tate on my fantasy roster, so I'll be looking for hopefully his, I believe it was an ankle. He has some sort of injury to a lower extremity that I hope is good to go, and he'll blow up for me and lead me to victory here in the one of the station leagues that I was able to join. The Tigers, though, they are going to take center stage first because tonight begins a 3-game series that basically sets up the postseason. If they sweep the Orioles, then we might be onto something here, like a 1987 style pennant chase. Remember when the Tigers overtook the Yankees at the break, and then it was the Tigers and the Blue Jays all the way down to the last game of the season, and Frank Tanana Daiquiri delivered a 1-0 shutout. Hopefully it doesn't go to the last game of the season this year, but in terms of getting that second wild card spot, anything can happen, but you have to take care of business first. Take care of your own and worry about all the other teams down the road. So beat the Orioles, Tigers, and let's get this done. Finally, see, we are 8 minutes away from the breaking news that we will ramp down on this 9:15, and then we'll fire back up again. And so refresh your browser and click in again with us if you're watching on clickondetroit.com, or if you're looking at us on mobile. This live feed ends on Facebook. Almost immediately thereafter, we're going to fire up another one and find out what this breaking news situation is involving the feds and some sort of, I believe, indictment that's going to be announced or unsealed at 9:30. So we'll punt bowl of bacon. The question was, what are the Lions going to do this year in terms of their performance, the standings, their record, that sort of thing? Go to @JasonCarrTV and respond if you're a passionate Lions fan and you want to weigh in. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to fit that in on Live in the D at the top of the hour, although that's jam-packed as well. So I'm going to sign off for now, and then closer to 9:30 we'll see with the breaking news.
Stay classy, Detroit.